Oh, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 810 of FloWrestling Radio Live. I'm your host, Christian Piles, joined today. No Ben Askren, but we got our regular Wednesday guest. Shane Sparks is here. James Dean Rader is here. And we are ready to rock on a fine Wednesday, a Taco Wednesday here at Flow Sports headquarters, where Shane is not, but he will be hopefully in August for the group meeting. Are you coming in for that, for the offsite?
I am definitely coming in August. Yeah, looking forward to it. I've never been to the new headquarters, so looking forward to seeing that palace.
Let's go. Yeah, palatial
I'll
indeed.
immediately be taking the elevator to the top floor to visit your guys' office.
It's pretty sweet. Yeah, we're still first floor here at the Springdale office, but yeah, absolutely. Hey, well, so we got a good bit to get to here. Odds and ends for sure. This is the 810 area code, 810 show, which is East/Central Michigan. And someone asked, I don't know if you typed this in there, who's the best wrestler from this area?
That was not me. It was Tyler.
Tyler put that in there. So Tyler's not even producing the show, but he's still hard at work in the document. I don't know the area codes in Michigan.
I just completely... to start the game, unfortunately, guys, I was going to come in and say it's time to have an Emmy award-winning show. Looking for that perfect broadcast. Looking for that perfect baseball game. It took 3 pitches for a ground ball to go through my legs at shortstop. So, perfect game is out the window. But my question is, you guys mentioned, say Central Michigan.
Yeah.
Jason Benetti is the play-by-play voice of the Chicago White Sox.
Okay.
And on Twitter, he'll put pictures of baseball stadiums, and he'll always ask, who is the first person you think of? And it's so simple, but I love when he does it. So when you guys say Central Michigan, in my mind, I'm like, who's the first Chippewa I think of? I had 1, 2 real quick. I'll ask you guys. So you guys, when I say Central Michigan wrestling, what's the first thing you think about?
Well, I think one of the first guys I remember watching a lot was actually Scotty Sentes for Central Michigan.
Okay, I remember
he had this
watching
crazy
him
style. He was really tall, really good on top.
What about you, JD?
Central Michigan?
Yep.
The college or like...
He's saying the college.
The college?
Yeah,
Cunningham.
college. When I say Central Michigan wrestling, what's the first thing you think about?
Casey Cunningham.
Same with me.
Wow. Okay.
To me, I went Casey Cunningham, and then immediately a split second, then I went Ben Bennett. If I'm thinking Central Michigan, bam, 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 Casey Cunningham, Ben Bennett, Tom Borelli. Oh, that's where I'm going.
4-time All-American.
Absolute. If I remember, I mentioned Scott Sentis because he was a Florida kid. Yeah. I went to the Virginia Beach Senior Nationals in 2008. It's the first time I went there. And if I remember right, both Sentis and Bennett, and I could be wrong on this, but I think that's the first time I saw both of those guys. And Ben Bennett was, man.
He was good.
He was spectacular. God, was he tough.
I guess I didn't think of, or not that I didn't think of Cunningham, but it's like I didn't really watch him, didn't get to watch him much at all.
When he won a title, 99 maybe?
Something like that.
And I think he won his title inside the Bryce Jordan Center. I think.
Oh, that would be an interesting twist.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, I think you're right.
And I could be wrong.
Against Penn State's Clint Musser.
And I
full circle.
I think Cody, did Cody lose that year? Was Cody a runner-up that year?
Cody was definitely a runner-up. I don't know.
I think it was that same year because I always thought it was ironic that it was Bryce Jordan Center with all those guys in the mix.
Yeah, very interesting. So yeah, I don't know much about the East Central Michigan area, like what's in the thing, but I would assume like
It's Davison.
Is Davison is like that Flint area where KJ is from. So there's some hammers. You got Brent, you got Reeder, you got Donahoe. Yeah, I said Brent.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I should have just said Metcalf. And then of course Kevin Jackson, Olympic champion, probably the best wrestler from the area, I would imagine. I don't know the comprehensive list of people from that area, but it's a pretty good one. Other odds and ends. A guy not from Michigan, a guy from Pennsylvania, Keith Gavin. He got his contract extended through 2027. Gavin seems to be doing a great job there at Pitt, and congrats to him getting the extension there. Do you have a Keith Gavin story, Shane?
I got one Keith Gavin story. Been asked, I believe it was, was it Askren and I? This stuff all runs together.
Mm-hmm.
If I remember right, okay. All I remember is somehow, some way, and I thought I was with Askren. I thought I stayed at Askren's house on overnight once because we were traveling to Cornell for some event the next day. And it was some kind of broadcast. I don't even remember exactly what it was on. I just remember I had to go pick up Keith from the airport. I'd never met him. And this is probably 10 years ago. I never met him. And I mean, Craig, he's, probably close to 10 years younger than I am, but I'm still like intimidated because it's Keith Gavin and he's such a, he's a hammer.
Yeah.
And him and I then went out to dinner together at this restaurant. I think we both had spaghetti. I thought he had spaghetti, but I just remember he was super cool. Like Keith Gavin, I mean, he put the C in cool. I mean, he is.
Oh, wow.
I really like him. I think Keith Gavin, to me, he's probably. I mean, our personalities. I'm pretty loud. He's not. I mean, at least he's so cool. I wish I had a couple of teaspoons of Keith Gavin's coolness in me because he's just so laid back. I bet obviously he's doing a phenomenal job at Pitt. I think they're as good as they've done. I think their best days are ahead. I mean, he's awesome.
They're recruiting
and it's just
really
great
well.
to see a guy like that. I mean, he's a wrestling coach. He knows what he's doing. And of course, you think about Keith Gavin, the best arm drag you've ever seen.
He was the best I've seen collegiately. Right now, the arm drag throne belongs in Russia with Abaskadze. But yes, Keith could drag from.
You guys have any Keith stories?
No, there's a really cool guy.
Yep.
I got to know him a little.
Came out of retirement.
Oh yeah, that's right. I liked. He was at UVA for a little bit there when I lived in Virginia. So
okay,
had a couple trips there. So yeah, no, just a
big fan.
Very.
Big fan. I mean, this wrestling's got so many great. If you said to me, "Hey, I'll give you $1 million for a coach you don't like," I wouldn't have any money. Everybody's awesome.
Oh, I'd have some money.
I like to. Hey, speaking of coaches, everybody's got to check out the Jordan Lean Bader show. That was great too.
Another guy.
You guys watch that?
No, not yet.
It was good. Jordan Lean tells a story about a guy he's now friends with, who took his starting job at shortstop, his starting job at quarterback, and of course, last but not least, stole his girlfriend as well. And now he's friends with the guy. Great story. Check it out.
That'd be tough. So
you
Tom
guys have
Brands,
one of those guys? You guys have a guy like that in your life that just kind of took everything you had?
No.
And not JD. JD was that guy.
Yeah, I was about to say.
A bunch of people, it'd be like, where JD went to college or high school, JD's name would come up. He was that guy.
Yeah. My wife had a boyfriend when I met her, so maybe I was partially that guy.
So how did you get in there?
Oh, I mean, it's just, I don't know. It wasn't too hard. We were both working at a church camp together, and yeah, I don't know.
Let me rephrase that. Of course,
I don't know.
How did you steal her away? That's what I meant.
I mean, it was sort of obvious. We definitely had a connection pretty early on there, and she went back to college with him, and I mean, within weeks they were done, and we were dating. Kind of let nature run its course there.
Chris, what we should do, all great shows. You think about like Saturday Night Live. Hey, we got a great show. Stick around. Pearl Jam is here. Whatever else.
Yeah.
FloWrestling Live needs like some kind of musical. I mean, you kind of got Hall & Oates with JD here, right? I mean, it's almost
making our dreams come true.
But your wife is such a great singer. You should bring her onto the show once and have her sing. Little known fact: Christian Pyle's wife is such a good singer. She'll choke you up. That's how good she is. I heard her sing a song on social media. It was like Easter, and I got choked up. It was beautiful. So you should bring her on sometime and let her sing because it's great.
Yeah, she is extremely talented for sure.
Very good.
Shout out Katie. I know you're not listening. Okay, seamless transition from my wife's vocal abilities to the Iowa lineup, which we had a pretty strong idea for some of this position. Some there were question marks. Tom Brands at the the golf outing.
Yep, Hawkeye Wrestling.
Basically put it out there, so we're gonna talk about it first. JD, just your overall thoughts on Coach Brands and his and the prospective lineup.
Nothing's really exciting. It's pretty much what we thought it was going to be. Of note, Ayala wasn't mentioned, so that's maybe telling he's going to redshirt, which we speculated anyways with the return of Spencer Lee.
And I wonder how much of that is, well, obviously Spencer, but the other, it's like how healthy is he, you know? Because he's someone where, you know, is Spencer going to be on a pitch count is my question. And if so, in a big duel, do you maybe throw out Drake in one of the big duels instead of Spencer? Or is Spencer just going to, like, hit the big duels and then it'll be Jesse Ibarra that's the main guy for 125? Or
He did mention.
Jesse. So Jesse was mentioned.
You have to be a freshman, right, guys, on that new you know, when you can wrestle 4 duels. That's only for freshmen only, correct? Like you couldn't throw
Actually, I think that
yeah,
might be
that's a
the
good
Ayala
point.
out there twice a year and not
Yeah,
have
that's
a
a
burn
good point,
his
Shane.
You have to be a true freshman.
Yeah, he's not a true freshman. He'd be a I guess he'd
That's
be
a weird
sophomore.
stipulation.
Because if you if you go right away, then
Because I think the whole point of the rules was to, like, acclimate freshmen better to the college student-athlete lifestyle.
I think anyone
which is fun, but what they really need is just, I mean, on its surface, that's great what they're doing, and I get it. But let's be honest, it's just about making dual meet wrestling in college. You don't want forfeits. It's so embarrassing, and I know there's reasons for it. I get it. There's reasons for it. I think it makes me cringe. Division I wrestling, and there are forfeits.
embarrassing.
Come on.
It's embarrassing.
It's so bad.
Well, my question has always been, what are all these people on the team for then? What do you have all these guys? You got you know, teams with 4 or 5 guys at one weight or the weight below, and you don't use any of them. You don't throw out a body. What is literally the worst? Someone gets pinned. Like it looks like a joke when you can't field a full team, and you can give me all the reasons. I just think it comes down to the coach's failure at some level. At some level, you did not construct your roster properly. You did not make the right choices in your what in some way you messed up if you can't field a full team. And so this should help. This should help that. I do think if you do have a red shirt available, you should get the 5 matches where you can be used. Like if you're in red shirt, like Drake Ayala is a perfect example. He's redshirting this year, but he should be able to get thrown in there, if only to just like give more depth to these teams and higher quality depth as well. The idea that someone could wrestle in one dual meet and an entire year of eligibility be gone makes no sense. How does that make any sense? Because like for college football, they can play in 4 or 5 games. And I think, and they can maintain the red shirt. I don't think it's regardless if they are freshmen or not. So, anyway, so 25 Spencer. The biggest question for 125 for Iowa is how much Spencer will we see and how soon will we see him? Is he going to be someone wrestling in November out the gate, or is it going to be second semester, or is it just going to be here and there and a very limited match count? Just a lot of questions. You're seeing him. He's on social media a decent amount. You're seeing him on Instagram. He's doing all these pull-ups. I forget how heavy the pull-up he did was, but it was like 150 pounds.
It was heavy.
It was heavy.
I'd love to feel his strength if I knew I wouldn't get hurt, but I know I'd get hurt. He has got to be just ungodly strong.
Freak.
Like
total freak. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, what is it like when he gets your wrist? Because so many wrestlers can get your wrist, and that's sort of it. And then, it's just a different level.
Speaking of wrist, guys, I might have told this story once before. You just talk about like random wrestling things you've learned, just completely random that make you, like, damn. I remember once, 2000, I've probably told this story before, but it makes me think about Spencer, probably pretty similar. 2011 NCAAs, Robles and McDonough. That morning was doing the broadcast with Mark McKnight, who wrestled at Penn State, and he had wrestled Robles at some point. So I asked him a question about Robles, like, what is something Robles does that, most people don't know about, or some kind of question along those lines. And he said, Anthony Robles is so strong that when he gets that wrist, he'll squeeze it, and it doesn't take long where you can't feel your hand anymore. Like he'll numb your whole hand.
Well, they said that about Gable when he would just even do like a bicep tie, inside tie, like your arms would go numb.
I mean, that would
Some people
suck.
got that freaky next level strength. Spencer's one of them. Robles one of them.
Yeah.
Danny Matt Gable.
Danny Hodge allegedly had like extra tendons in his hands.
Oh, is that one of the
Extra tendon.
literally just bucked human anatomy? Just did its own thing with Danny Hodge. So yeah, forfeits are bad. Hand strict is wonderful. 33 looks like Colin Shriver gonna be the guy there. That was sort of assumed. He had some pretty nice moments in red shirt. He gave Austin DeSanto a relatively competitive match at
Shriver, or the Luther Open.
The Luther Open. So there's some excitement around Shriver. Now you look at 133 pounds. Where does he likely fit in that pecking order? Obviously, Dayton and RBY are the class of that weight class, and there's some other really tough guys. But is he someone that can sneak into the round of 12 on the podium? I think that's definitely a possibility. What are your prognostications about Colin, JD?
He's got a ways to go, I think, before he's really pushing for All-American, but definitely national qualifier type guy. I think right now, if I had to make a prediction, it's a 1 and 2 at NCAAs.
Yeah. Thinking about, he wrestled Lucas Bird in the duel. It was pretty one-sided for Lucas. That's the 4th ranked guy. Then you've got Ragusan, Cannon, Philippi is back forever. That was part of the contract. I think they extended him through 2027 as well.
Yeah.
Keith and Mickey Philippi. So congrats to both. Long-term deals at Pitt.
Holy mood.
This is a deep weight, man. Though I thought Brian Courtney was gone after this year, but he's for Virginia. Rayvon Foley, Michael Kolioko at 11. So this is a pretty deep weight class. So he's gonna have some work to do to find his way on the podium.
He did beat Biscaglia last year. So
Speaking of wrists,
yeah, Biscaglia will grab it, not let go.
he will not let go.
Who I forget exactly what he did postseason, but that shows you he like I said, he's definitely already national qualifier level. Probably he's gonna have to improve a little bit if he wants to get on the podium.
Yes. So, but he's in a good place to improve for lightweights, that's for sure. 141, obviously, Real Woods is the man there, and he could definitely be a national champion this year at 141. I mean, and coming into last year, other than Nick, it was a lot deeper. Now it lost so much firepower.
That's the weight that cleared out the most.
The most. I mean, it's stark how different that was. And then you had the number 1 guy, Willits, was the highest returning placer. He's gone. Mm-hmm. So then Cole Matthews, Pitt, number 1. He'll be the top-ranked guy, and I think Real is 2 or 3. But obviously winnable weight for them. And one where if they want to push for a high podium, they're going to need Real Woods to place high.
Yeah. He might be my preseason pick to win it.
He'll be mine. Yeah, I'm sure I will.
Yeah.
Though Cole Matthews can just post it as bulletin board material because he should probably be the consensus pick based on just how he looked overall this year.
Plus, good offseason. 1U23s.
Yes. Yep. He continues to improve. Max Murin, Shane's guy, 149. Yep. Ratchie did get a mention there at 49.
He got mentioned at both 49 and 57. But
it's hard.
Seems like he would have a better chance.
If Murin's coming back, and it's really hard to envision him not starting. But, after his performance at NCAAs, I'm, similar. Is he going to be able to get on the podium again?
This is the year for Mirren to get on.
Well, I mean, he got on before, right?
No.
Did he lose in the round of 12 to in the 2021 season? Yeah. He got booed.
I think he's three-time round of 12?
Three-time round of 12.
Oh, my gosh.
Four-time qualifier.
Oh, my gosh.
Yep. Mirren is on the loose, telling you.
He got Milnered bad. That's right. Milner is freaking tough. He rode him, really, that was one of the matches that happened literally right in front of us. It was not competitive. So, yeah, if this is the year, he's got to do it. But he certainly can. He's beaten a lot of good guys. He's beaten many All-Americans in his career. Just has to put it together. 57 is definitely going to be the biggest question mark weight for Iowa. Not just in who's going to wrestle, but the performance. It's going to be probably a very long shot for them to place it this way, at least with the guys here. Caleb Ratchie, Kobe Seabrick, Brett Lee Reyna. None of these three have shown they're ready to push, although Ratchie had some nice moments at trials for U20s, I believe. He beat Cody Chittum.
But then he lost to Chittum on the backside.
Yes.
In the country semis.
He also lost to Cody Chittum at the Southern Scuffle. So they've wrestled a lot for a guy that's still in high school. But yeah, there's nothing really from his redshirt year. He didn't beat anyone of note, and he lost to Chittum. So it's hard to say, and he looks like he might be the front runner to take that spot, at least right now.
Yeah, probably him or Reyna.
Yeah, Brett Lee Reyna out of Florida. How did he do last year? Brett Lee. So he was...
Who does 57 have? Is Penn State, is that Barraclaw at 57? Okay.
Yep. So Barraclaw is back. We talked about him a good bit. So Brett Lee beat Vince Turk last year. He beat... That's sort of it. He lost to Gavin Sachs, John Arceri. So, yeah, maybe it's going to be a tough road at 157 for Iowa. That seems likely. But then 65, the long-awaited debut, not debut, but the time he'll be the full guy for good, Patrick Kennedy. This guy, prediction here, this is going to be a Shane Sparks favorite. Because this guy is tough, in your face, hard hand fighter, no breaks. He is just like prototypical Iowa-style guy. His mat returning, I'm not as sure of, but he's going to hand fight.
Find out. Hey, man, tell you what, when I think about mat returns in the last, and it's top of mind because it's not that long ago, but Iowa and Penn State, both those teams are so good. Iowa is the obvious. You watch an Iowa duel, and it's obvious mat returns. But when I think back to that national tournament last year, mat returns at critical times. Wish I had a highlight video what Penn State did in winning national titles last year with mat returns.
Well,
it was incredible.
Aaron Brooks beat Miles Amin with straight mat wrestling.
Absolutely.
Insta-death.
Yeah, which no one was predicting that. It was just not on the. I don't think it was on the Michigan radar at all that he was going to put that much effort into riding.
RBY is another one. When RBY he's so sexy and slick on his feet. Nobody's going to deny that.
Yeah.
But when he needs to put the hard hat on and do the grind work in the trenches, RBY is as good as anybody.
They love that.
RBY, I'm telling you, that guy, when it's all said and done, he can be on that. He can be in those Mount Everest conversations, I think. That's how good he is.
I think he can because he's got this extremely rare neutral ability that you just don't see that puts you in a match with everyone. There's no one that's going to drastically outclass him from the neutral position, right? And there have been a lot of great 33s. But, yeah, I wonder who do we think is like the best 33 of the last? Like him versus... Man, imagine him versus 2011 Jordan Oliver, who is maybe, for me, one of the best 33s I can recall.
Who'd he beat in 11? Hochstrasser?
Yes. Yes. And then, of course, Logan beats him the next year. According to most. Some. But that's still a match very much in dispute. So, yeah, I mean, I think Roman, he could definitely be on that short list for some of the most exciting 33s.
Guys, let me throw this in there, and I hate to do this, but I'll forget if I wait 2 minutes because I can't remember anything. Is there any chance that Dayton Fix goes 25? We're talking about Spencer Lee, we're talking about Roman Bravo Young, 33, 25. Is there any chance he goes down to 25? Is that being talked about, or is that just social media rumor mill?
Well, I didn't know that was out there on social. It was definitely something in years past that was brought up, and I think even internally it was thought of as an option for Dayton. I think he even spent time in his redshirt year at 125. It's just I think ultimately it's not going to happen because I think for their lineup it doesn't make as much sense.
And I don't think you know why else it doesn't happen? I don't think there's any way in hell Dayton Fix. I mean, that's all he wants, right? He's got to go 133. He's got to beat RBY.
Our man JD Rader talked with Dayton about that very thing, and he was glad that Roman was coming back. So I don't think there's any scenario he goes up or down. I mean, honestly, it would make more sense for Oklahoma State if he went up. I mean, to be fair, if he went 41, I'd pick him to win that weight class right now, Dayton Fix. And then you could get Carter Young down at 33, a weight that probably makes more sense for him. At least it would have last year.
Not anymore. He went up to
65.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe not. But I think Dayton stays at 33. He tries to solve that RBY puzzle. So I don't see him moving up because you don't want to throw Mastro out at 25. So it just makes sense for him to wrestle. Okay, so Patrick Kennedy at 65.
Man, who would you feel worse for? Dayton becoming a 4-time finalist, never champ, or Max Mirren becoming a 4-time round of 12?
Dayton.
Well, it's not even close. That one's not even close.
Oh, my gosh. Because,
shout out to my favorite wrestler ever. It was his birthday yesterday, and I've never met him, and I want to have lunch with him and meet him. My favorite all-time wrestler is Chad Zapital from Iowa.
Okay.
And Chad Zapital was a 3-time runner-up for the Hawks, and he was fantastic. Teammates with the Brands in the early 90s. My favorite all-time guy. Was his birthday yesterday, so happy birthday, Chad. But, I took second place in high school, one time in high school.
Yeah.
And it did way more to me than it should have. Like that just was I didn't handle that right. I cannot imagine. But I'll tell you this. I would also say this. And I know it sucks to take second place, but I saw some idiots, and I try to stay off of social media as far as responding, but every now and then somebody says something that just like all of us kind of sucks you in. And some idiot put, Dayton Fix is the best collection of silver medals in the world or something like that. I'm just kind of like, you know what? It's like, how many do you have? Like, how many silver medals do you have? I mean, taking second place at the NCAAs, and I'm going to sound like the old man here, but it's like, hold your head up high. You got to be really good to do that. Like,
yeah.
Can you imagine ripping on Dayton Fix on Twitter? Like, really?
Yeah. No, I actually can't.
I'd punch that guy in the face.
Oh my gosh. Let's go. Run it.
And don't say, I mean, seriously, don't say, I mean, that's the dumb tweet of 2022 so far.
Yeah.
Dumb tweet. That's an award you guys should have too. On the Flow Awards show at the end of the year, you should have dumb tweet of the year.
Dumbest tweet. Or the worst age tweet. I mean,
the
guy, so, and you look back, he loses to Soriano in about as controversial a fashion you could recall. If two calls change this, and I don't know that I disagree with the one call, but he had Soriano completely broken down in tiebreakers with legs in, and they stalemate it, which I said it at the time. They do that. They give the guy another effort to get out, and Soriano did. But he straight up pulled the headgear. Everyone saw it. They reviewed it. They reviewed it. I mean, they were in a terrible position where they had to just basically decide the winner there. But at the end of it, you can't freaking pull the headgear for. But anyway, so that was a disaster, and then he loses to Roman, which he loses to Roman twice, but it was a pretty big upset for the first time he lost to him. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, the guy's he's in tough weight classes. The guy's put it on the line a lot. He's won a lot of things. He's a junior world champ. And then, he's made our team. He's made multiple senior world teams while still in college. And,
he's so good.
Was a favorite to make one this year.
Fantastic. Now, I'm thinking about this. The last 3-time finalist, was it, I'm just throwing stuff at the wall, was it Clark? Did Clark make 3 finals and win the third one?
He didn't make 3.
Or not?
Yeah, he lost to Brewer, Nishan.
And then he won it.
Then he beat Seth Gross.
Okay,
yeah.
Right.
So I'm just trying to think of the last guy that was a runner-up twice. Obviously, fixed 3 times. Dwayne Goldman was a
Nico won his last crack. He was finals, third champ.
What a career he had.
Yeah. He's good.
Dwayne Goldman, I'm guessing, is the last guy that went second, and then won it. But that's a long time ago.
Yeah. The thing for Dayton that you got to remember is he's got 2 more cracks.
Yep.
Right? And
that's right.
He's basically said, I'm not going to it's like, I love this. I'm going to take all my eligibility. That's what he said at Worlds last year, and I would assume that wouldn't change. And so, you can look ahead and say, well, even if he doesn't win this year, he'll have one more crack at it after Roman graduates. But I'm sure he wants to get it done. He has no interest in putting that off, but we can think that way. So.
But then the whole.
Oh my gosh! Well, yeah,
debate starts.
Should he have another crack at it? Should the fifth?
Is there an asterisk?
Yeah, I say no.
If I'm Dayton Fix, maybe I win. Try to win it next year, and then who knows? Do what he wants. It's fun watching him wrestle.
I mean, he's also a guy who will be competing at the senior level
for sure.
After that, it's not a go and get a job. Wrestling it will be his job.
Yeah. Yeah, he's one guy I could never see because some guys they do their time and they college wrestle and then it's like, oh, but whatever happened to this guy or that guy? Like Dayton, you just know you're gonna see Dayton around wrestling until we're old people.
Yes,
and probably in Oklahoma, specifically Stillwater, right? I can't imagine him in another color, right?
No.
He's just one of those guys. I mean, you think about different programs, even at Oklahoma State with all that tradition, and he hasn't won one yet, and you want to obviously be part of that club. But when I think about Dayton Fix, I think about Oklahoma State. Like that he's Oklahoma State.
Yeah, through and through for sure. Okay, so 65 for Iowa. How are we thinking Kennedy is going to fare at this weight, which is going to be really tough? And yet, to follow up on a topic from yesterday about Quincy Monday, the thought from Princeton is that he likely will go 65 next year. Certify at 157, but likely wrestle at that weight. So
is Carr going 65 or is he staying at 57?
I believe he's going up.
Next year?
Carr's going up too.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. 57 is going to be
it's hard to go against the shiny Carr at 65.
I mean,
Keegan
will be
what
there.
About Keegan O'Toole?
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
Man.
We need to play this for Ben.
No kidding.
Wow. Next week.
So, is it safe to say, 165, is that the best? I mean, you guys, I don't study this as much as this time of year as probably you guys do. 65, the king of the mountain as far as weight class, obviously.
You could have 3 national champions in one weight class. You could have Keegan, Griffith, and David Carr all at the same weight. Not to mention Amin, Hamidi, Karchla. Peyton Hall of West Virginia is a monster. This is a very, very good weight. Somehow Demetrius Romero still has eligibility. This guy wrestled for Boise State.
Yeah.
He wrestled for Boise State.
Something.
But he's still at it. God,
what a weight class. I mean, that makes that gets my heart pounding just thinking about it. Getting to March and seeing those guys get after it. Man,
197 should have 2 national champions with Ferrari and Dean, but 3 is possible with this one. Now, Now, does Griffith go up to 74? That's been like speculated about, but we haven't seen it. So if he went up to 74, that would give 174 3 national champs with Carter, Starace, Mekhi Lewis, and Shane Griffith.
Mm-hmm.
So 65 or 74 will ultimately be the weight of weights.
It was 65 probably the weight to watch this year.
Yeah, I
in
think
Detroit.
so, because with Wick in the mix, and then you had, Griffith was the returning champ, and then Marinelli didn't end up placing all that high, but he was definitely someone who was a bona fide title contender going into the year.
And Carson
Karchla, who beat him. Yeah, so yeah, it was a great weight. 41 maybe last year was, before they all got freaking hurt, was the weight as well. And also, we didn't know for a while what weight Yanni was going to go. Remember, that was a question, even in November, December. Is he going to be the 49 or 41? Mm-hmm. Imagine if it was Yanni, Nickley, Seabass, Jaden. Yeah, but it didn't really materialize like we thought at 141. But that weight coming into the year with Rivera, Nickley, and Ironman was really tough, and then it got blown up as weights at NCAAs tend to do. So how does Kennedy fit into this? It'll be tough for him he's going to have to beat like a Peyton Hall type to place in that top 5. But I do think it's likely he places. I think there's a lot of people are going to have a hard time with his pace, hand fighting, etc. He's really elite. He's got a thing. He's got a very well-honed identity as a wrestler, and I think that'll serve him well.
I mean, it's kind of like the Marinelli thing, like, hand fight. The post high C, post double is coming, but can you stop it?
Can you? Unlikely.
Most couldn't.
Okay, so that's 65. Nelson Brands looks like the guy at 74.
Mm-hmm.
After he was out with an injury
Swafford
last
got
year.
a mention too.
Okay.
What would you say, JD?
Swafford got a mention too from Brands.
Okay.
So that'll be the wrestle off there. Brands would probably be my pick.
He's a favorite. He's another fringe All-American contender, I would say. 70, especially with.
Well, what Swafford was that? Was he a D2 national champ, D2 national finalist, maybe?
D3 Graceland. Or wait, no,
Okay.
they're NA. Are they NAI? D3?
I don't think it was
They're in
D3. I'm just going off of memory. I thought he was I could be wrong. But he's good. He's good.
Yeah, and as you look at 74, Starace, Mekhi, Labriola, Plott, Lout, Smith. It's a really good top 6. But then you go Mako, O'Malley, Ishins, Runyon, Ant-Man, Devos. I can see Nelson wrestling a Mako or O'Malley to Ishins to some really competitive matches. So he definitely has All-American potential.
He's the guy I feel like will wrestle pretty much anybody tough.
Mm-hmm.
But can he win the big match he has to win to break through and get on the podium? I don't know.
He might. I think he could place this year. I really do.
I'd agree.
But I think his upside is definitely capped by the Starace, Lewis, Labriola types. I think him versus Plott would actually be a really fun match. I don't know how it would go.
Plott wrestles a lot of fun matches.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, Plott's just kind of wide open, and Nelson is wide open too. Nelson will give up tons of points in the name of scoring some more. So, looking forward to that. And then 84 through heavyweight is basically the same lineup for Iowa. Abe Assad, Jacob Warner, and Tony Cassiope round out the Hawkeye starters. So that'll be interesting. So yeah, looking forward to watching the Hawks this year. Cool to get that insight from Coach Brands. JD, do you have any burning voicemails that you think would be good for Shane and I to hear? And our people?
Not today.
Not today?
Come on, JD.
It was low. People need to call in.
You got 3 in here, but not worth it, huh? So JD, that's a challenge from JD. We lost our TV. We didn't pay our cable bill.
Oh, hell's breaking loose.
Yeah, what's happening?
Those voicemails are the best. So people, give us. I'm here on Wednesdays. Next Wednesday, let's have a few.
Yeah.
Give us some hot takes.
The phone number is in the description, but I will say it for you all: 515-509-5071. That it doesn't have to be just a question. Sometimes we want your thoughts.
Yeah, get a take out there.
Yeah.
So a guy with a hot take right now is Sebastian Rivera, who says,
I saw that on Twitter this morning.
All right, I feel like there's a Shane Sparks take here waiting to be had, but Sebastian Rivera said, I know no guy wants to admit this, but women's deodorant is a game changer. Never smelt better in my life.
I can't say I've ever.
It takes a real man. I mean,
used women's deodorant.
I've never used it either. I would say, the advertising is strong enough for a man, but made for a woman. I think that's secrets.
Yeah. I've never done it. I've never done it, but I'm not going to not. I mean, maybe he's onto something. I mean, you got to smell good, man. You got to smell good.
Or at least not stink.
Yeah, exactly.
Ben says he doesn't get body odor at all and doesn't have to wear, he's never worn deodorant.
Really?
And his wife actually confirmed this. And his wife is a normal person, so I don't think she's lying about this. But yeah, he's like, no, I don't.
It's been artificial intelligence.
Yeah, Ben has so many oddities about him. It's like, who's the? You actually believe it?
Yeah, I'm with you. I believe it too. Yeah. I believe it too.
Okay. Also, the odds for the hot dog eating contest on July 4th are out, Shane. I'm sure you've been glued to this. The over/under is at 74.5 hot dogs eaten by
what's his name?
Joey Chestnut.
Yeah. Joey Chestnut. Okay. He's still Kobayashi's gone, right?
Gone.
I mean, he was he's been gone.
Chestnut dethroned him some time ago. Yep.
Well, he got in that beef with he can't compete at Nathan's.
Yeah.
So he could be a white whale. It could be great white buffalo. We could never know.
I mean, Joey has beaten Kobayashi, as all our listeners know. We talk about this every year. But Joey, bad move from Kobayashi. There's only one hot dog contest that anyone would ever care about. You shouldn't alienate yourself from those people.
This is man. I mean, Chestnut's been doing this. I mean, over a decade, right? I mean,
easily.
It's the only name I know of.
What is the food, Shane, that you would be most competitive in a competitive eating contest? I think I have my answer.
Goldfish would be mine. Yeah. So I'll show you guys. Give me literally 10 seconds. I'm going to give you the best combination there is. I'm going to show you this.
I can't believe he said goldfish. I was not ready for that. I was not ready for goldfish. The snack that smiles back. Okay.
Goldfish are kind of trash.
What? I love goldfish. I still, even though I love them, Shane's gone. He's in his cupboard. I thought Shane's thing was wheat thins, but apparently it's
all
goldfish.
Right. So here's the combination, like the craziest food combination. But I eat this stuff pretty much daily. You got the goldfish. Normally I get the big milk jug.
Yeah,
container.
I know what you're talking about. We get that one.
But I got this, and then I put on the Frank's Red Hot sauce. It's the best. So if I had to do a combination, I don't know how I got turned on to the buffalo sauce. Probably it wasn't that long ago, maybe 2 years ago. But I eat it like cereal. So I'll get done with this, put the goldfish in the bowl, pour on the Frank's. Makes you sweat a little bit. So that's my question right here. I would be the goldfish eating champion. Yeah. No doubt. How about you guys?
All right. Well, I could do one. I don't know why, but I feel like the goldfish taste better in those bags than they do in the other devices.
But it's got to be the regular cheddar. I don't like the extra
don't
cheddar.
Flavor blast it. Yeah, I don't need it flavor blasted. This is the perfect ratio. Yep. Shane, you and I are aligned here. I would say Krispy Kreme donuts, just the glazed, just plow through a dozen. No problem if I had to. Just in no time flat.
And those go down easy.
Easy.
The goldfish don't go down the easiest, but
Hard
that's
work.
why I'm the champ. But the glazed donuts.
I'm taking the path of least resistance. That, or honestly, I can eat sushi so fast. It's crazy. I
do put down sushi.
I got sushi with my brother on when I was home this weekend, and I didn't even realize it, but I hadn't eaten that day, and I ate it so fast that they hadn't brought our whole order yet, and mine was gone. And the waiter got back and literally said, "Oh my gosh," because he couldn't believe wasn't even in my mind that I was eating it that I was even thinking. But yeah, so sushi and Krispy Kreme donuts for me. JD, I gotta hear this.
Mayo.
Mayo?
I'll eat spoonfuls of mayo.
You're gonna win that one by default because no one is gonna do this.
Wait, and you guys remember? So wrestling trivia here. When you hear mayo, what's the first thing you think about?
I think about what in terms of wrestling.
Yeah, yep. One of the best lines ever said.
I think about Mike Zadek on the Iowa thing saying it sticks to your ribs.
Yeah, it sticks to your stomach.
I remember he said that. That's so funny
Mike
he said
Zadek, that was. I'll tell you what. Now, I need to go watch that again. The season. That is so. You guys are a little younger than I am. JD, or heck, you could be my kid, but. Yeah. You guys, I'm assuming, have seen Dan Gable Competitor Supreme, right?
Yeah.
JD, have you seen it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. I'm getting ready because it's getting to the point now where you're going to ask kids, have you seen Dan Gable Competitor Supreme? And they're going to be like, what are you talking about? Yeah. Right? It's like, what do you mean? Because, I mean, that came out when I was in high school, for God's sakes, early 90s. But Competitor Supreme is so great. And then, of course, the season. God, the guy that did the narrating in the season, so good. I'd love to meet. I wonder what that guy is doing these days.
I guarantee he's not eating mayonnaise by the spoonful. I'll tell you that right now.
Mayo.
Cross that one off. Wow, I didn't think anything was going to top goldfish, but mayonnaise.
Oh man, mayo.
Well, you gotta find your corner of the market.
Are you a strict Hellman's man, or are you like a Miracle Whip, the tangy zip?
I don't really discriminate.
You'll eat any mayonnaise off the block.
So you eat, JD, you eat mayo all the time. I mean, obviously you must like it.
Okay, right? I don't actually eat like.
It kind of sounds like you might.
I would. I have.
Oh yeah, it's sticking.
Yeah, that is. I'm telling you, the last time I
always
mayo.
do.
No idea.
I make a sandwich and I leave a little extra on the knife.
Oh,
clean it up.
Oh my gosh!
Okay.
Just like brownie batter.
Yeah.
Now, Mike Zadek changed my life back in, I think that was 2000, 2001, whatever it was.
Sense?
Not often. Yeah, because it's just such a. I mean, I need all the help I can get, and that's just. I mean, that's.
Well, yeah, you're eating goldfish by the pound. I would cut that before I cut a little bit of mayo on your sandwich.
Mike Zadek.
What a beast.
Was so good.
Great elbow off.
Good.
Okay.
I wonder how long his beard is right now.
I don't know.
Nobody has seen him in years.
Yeah, we need a Mike Zadek beard update. If anyone knows, I'm assuming he's Montana.
Mike Zadek, you guys. Mike Zadek. There's two guys now. It's crazy how this all goes together. From the season, Mike Zadek is in there, and Steve Mocco is in there.
Yeah.
And I got to be honest, both those guys scared the living you know what out of it. Like certain people just kind of scare you. And I can't believe Mike Zadek is one of the best guys you'll ever meet. He's an awesome guy. Like he's so like every time I talk to him, I'm always kind of like, God, I can't believe how nice this guy is. He's an awesome guy. And I'll give you another guy. I met Steve Mocco at the 2015 World Championships in Vegas. I couldn't believe how nice he was either.
Oh, yeah.
Just awesome
That's
guy.
how most people are.
Yeah, Mocco is definitely a nice guy.
I mean, you see Steve Mocco in the season, and you're not overly interested in getting to know him, right?
No. No, sir.
Yeah, and he's awesome.
So I kicked him in his ass.
Great guy. He's down in what, Florida, Mocco, doing like he's an MMA, runs an MMA gym or
coach,
part of one.
Yep.
Steve Mocco was, God, you think about some of the great matchups back in the day. I mean, Mocco and Conrad.
Yeah.
God, no love lost between those two. Like those were fun matches.
Definitely some battles there for sure. Okay. I think maybe the last time I talked to Mike Zadek, he yelled at me for not picking enough Hokies to win. He said I didn't like Virginia Tech, which hurt me to my core, obviously, knowing the actual truth.
The best beard in wrestling? I mean, obviously Kyle Klingman's is going to be Klingman's the guy to beat.
I don't know. I mean, it's all in what do you value. You know, if you like a neatly trimmed, Bob Vila type of situation, okay, that's one. But if you like a wild, unencumbered beard, it's going to be Mike Zadek.
Unencumbered? Where did you pull that one from?
Well, yeah, I don't know. I honestly any of my vocabulary words that I guarantee were like one of my 11th grade vocab words, and I just had a way to hang on to them. But I don't think I've added any other words in my repertoire. I'm breaking that into a Big Ten broadcast this season.
Okay,
do it.
Unencumbered. That's fantastic.
Yes. Please do.
JD's mustache, would you say that's unencumbered, or I mean, where do you?
No, it's pretty well defined. It's okay. It's not unruly.
Okay.
It's good structure, good shape. Okay, what is Shane's favorite Hall & Oates song? Asks Lefty Strat 5.
Jeez, that's a great. Gosh, that's a hard one. That's a hard one. And right now, for whatever reason, I'm having like a complete. Just my mind is
real hard-hitting
questions. It's here. 1 second. I'll tell you what it is.
Oh my gosh, he's gonna pull out a 45.
She's gone. Yeah, that's what it is.
I don't even honestly. The only Hall & Oates song I know is the "You Make My Dreams Come True" song. I don't
probably know Rich Girl.
Okay, maybe so.
Guys, on the entertainment front, last night I went to see Elvis. Good movie. Or I don't even know what the name is, Elvis, but it's on Elvis. It's good.
I think it's called
239, a little long, but very good. Very good. Have you guys seen? I mean, I'm assuming you guys have seen Maverick. Have you guys both seen that?
No. Listen to this. Friday. Listen.
You guys better be going.
On Friday, Flo is renting out a theater for us to go and watch it.
I saw that. Yes.
So I'm going.
It's really good. It's not as good as the first one, but it's good. But Elvis was really good.
I heard Tom Hanks looked ridiculous in the fat suit.
He wore a fat suit?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's the.
Why does he wear a fat suit?
Because the guy's fat.
He's just the character he plays.
Oh. I was thinking in Top Gun.
Oh, no. In Elvis.
I was like, why would he wear that? That doesn't make sense for a freaking fighter pilot. I didn't realize he was in the Elvis movie. He played he wore a fat suit in Tropic Thunder. Have you seen that movie, Shane?
I have not.
Oh my gosh.
Tropic Thunder. I'll tell you
absurd.
What's your favorite Tom Hanks movie? I mean, because last night I'm sitting there watching it. I mean, he's been in I remember going to the theater in Ripon, Wisconsin, and I want to say 1986 as a fifth grader watching Big, where he's like dancing on the big piano.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a long time ago. But his best movie, in my opinion, has got to be Castaway.
I was going to say Toy Story.
It's Forrest Gump.
Toy Story's good. Guys, let me ask you this. You guys got to be a little vulnerable with me on this one here, okay? You got to be vulnerable, okay?
All right.
I'll start. So I'll put my skin in the game right away.
We're going to talk about crying really quick.
I don't know if I can get through the movie Castaway without getting choked up, and I've probably seen it 20 times. That movie, there's two movies that choke me up no matter what. Castaway chokes me up, and then A League of Their Own at the very end. I couldn't get through A League of Their Own. I don't think I've ever done it. It gets me every time.
Man, I haven't watched A League of Their Own since I was probably under 10 years old, so I don't even remember.
That movie is it's one of my favorite baseball movies. It's so good.
Really?
Just lot to that movie.
What
are the tearjerkers for you guys?
What is a sad movie? I thought the movie John Q. I don't know why. Just like a dad. Have you seen that one, Shane?
I have not.
Oh my gosh, you'll love John Q.
That one down.
Denzel.
John Q.
His son needs this crazy. Has this heart condition. I won't even say anything else. It is extremely good. Probably one of Denzel's best performances, in my opinion.
Okay.
Very good movie. I'm trying to think. What have I watched recently? I don't know. I'll try to come up with something for next week. JD doesn't cry.
That's right.
Oh, I'll bet. Oh, come on, JD. What did you say?
I said he doesn't cry. He goes, that's right.
Never once.
Doesn't even know how.
You never cried during a movie, JD?
I've never cried, period. Ask my mother.
Call your mom right now. Call your mom right now.
In all my time on this podcast, the best thing I've ever heard was, I never cried, period.
I never cried, period. Ask my mother.
I said it was a phenomenon.
Man.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Oh.
That's great. JD, I can see the second you were born, I could just see it. Second you were born, most babies start crying, whatever. Not JD, just staring at the doctor and just staring at him.
Fist bumps the doc. He's like,
nice work.
Thanks, doc.
And the mustache was already, you could see it was already coming through a little bit, What you were probably one of those guys, JD, had the facial hair at what? 9 years old, maybe?
No, I was a normal high school kid.
It's all that mayonnaise. Makes your hair
sticks to your ribs, but it puts hair on your chest.
Yeah. That's a good point. Okay. I think we can call it. I think we did the show.
No way.
Oh, man. Shane's just getting...
We did have
this has been fun.
I needed
this today.
We got a text. We got a text from JD's mom?
No, from a listener. And I want to get Shane's take on this because I think we've talked about it. But it said... The new eligibility rules surrounding true freshmen allows them to wrestle 5 matches without burning the red shirt. Cael Sanderson never lost during his NCAA competitive years, but did during his redshirt year. In your opinion, would a freshman who goes undefeated for 4 consecutive NCAA seasons, and wins, but loses one of their 5 matches that they wrestle, how are they viewed?
Compared to Cael?
Yes.
Yeah, because Cael lost, and I should know his name. I know that he was from Iowa, and unfortunately, I know he passed away.
Yeah, Paul Jen.
Paul Jen, there you go. Yeah.
So, you go ahead, Shane.
I mean, it's a loss, right? I mean, I've always thought in these debates. Correct me if I'm wrong. Kyle Dake never redshirted, correct?
Correct.
And he didn't take a year off, right? And he went senior year of high school to winning an NCAA title, correct?
Yes. Correct.
I've always thought at least for me, if you were ever to argue, I mean, Kyle Dake's career, winning it as a true freshman at 141,
So
if you told me you thought Kyle Dake's career was better than Cael Sanderson's, you would not hear much of a debate from me.
I think you should, because I think had Dake run the table sophomore through senior year, I think so, because then you could say, okay, well, he didn't get the red shirt. Yes, Yanni style, you could say. But I think him taking losses to Vincent and Kevin LaValle as a sophomore, I think the whole point of Cael is just it was impeccable. It was start to finish impeccable, and it was start to finish dominant, right? He beat people so badly every single year he was in college. He killed everyone he wrestled. He very, very rarely was in competitive matches, much less lost any of them. So for that reason, I think the argument for Dake is he beat David Taylor, he bumped up, no red shirt. But look at the years he won.
41, 49, 57, 60. That is those are the top weights.
And I think what is interesting, the fact that he changed weights is not as doesn't blow me away. Just as much as the different kinds of styles you have to navigate for those weight classes. A 165 pounder is a completely different challenge from a 141 pounder. If you watch those NCAA finals they're very different stylistically. What he did, we'll never see anything. I don't think we'll see anything like that.
I think, like I said, I'm just saying, if somebody said to me, hey, whose career impressed you most, Dake or Sanderson? If somebody said, you could have either one of them, I wouldn't argue either one of them. Yeah. I just don't think, and I'd like to see the stats on this, and Cael will never know. Chances are he would have, who won the year that he redshirted? I don't know. I'd be curious to go back and see. I have no idea. But the point being is, I'd like to see the stats of true freshmen, and now it's changing a little bit just because these guys are so good, but true freshman at All-American, it can't be a ton. It's got to be, I mean, that, to me, winning it as a true freshman is substantial. I mean, that's a big deal. I mean, that's huge compared to, I'm not taking anything away from anybody, but what Kyle Dake did, I just don't think he gets enough. I don't think he gets enough credit. And I know it gets a lot. I just don't think he gets enough. That is,
just saying that.
Then you look at the guys he beat, like, man.
So Lee Fullhart won 190. So it went from 77 to 190. So that probably would have been his weight. And then the weights changed, I think, the next year.
And I don't remember. I mean, Lee Fullhart was a bad dude. And I know Fullhart and Sanderson, I think, had some real battles to make that Olympic team.
Yeah.
So I don't remember how. I guess my point being is when you say the name Lee Fullhart on the surface, and again, I don't know. I'm just saying what my perception is when I hear you say Lee Fullhart. My first reaction is, okay, that's not a gimme that he wins it. Not that it would be with anybody, but Lee Fullhart was bad. He was next level bad dude. Lee Fullhart.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah.
He wrestled Kale tough, but yeah, total hypothetical because we don't know. But I think the trump card is never losing in dominance for me. It's like he destroyed everyone for 4 straight years in a way we haven't seen.
Well, I don't know how we started talking about Kyle Dake, but to bring back to the original question,
yes.
Say someone does that, but they take a loss on their official record because it's one of their 5 matches.
I view it identically to Kale losing as a red shirt. I was like, okay, yeah, fine. He had a loss there, but like the 4 years you have, like you kind of judge it based on that. You don't.
But these will be official matches, correct?
They're all. What makes them not official? What made
the fact that Kale says he's 159-0?
Well, he is. He is 159.
Yeah, but now, so here's my question, Christian.
Could go 159.
Guys, listen to this. So my question is, if you now, so when Kale was 159-0, when his redshirt season didn't count towards his official record, do these matches now with the new rule, are these official matches? I would think they are. They got to be official because it's going to be during an official duel.
If you're wrestling attached, like in a duel, it will go on your official record.
So if you lose one time as a true freshman in a duel meet, you lost.
Yes.
They're all official.
Yeah.
They're all official. I mean, but
no, they're not because Kale's 159-0.
But they all have the ability. Like if they had pulled his red shirt at the end of the year, then that match gets pulled in.
Yeah, but they didn't.
I know, but
didn't.
It's So no, that doesn't count. Does not count against the. You get your 4 years to do whatever you're gonna do, right?
I disagree, Christian. I will say this: they pull you out of red shirt and you get beaten a duel. If let's just say this happens, you got Iowa and Illinois, and Iowa pulls a kid out, whoever it might be, and he loses in that duel meets. That's a loss. It's a loss on your record. You are not undefeated in college anymore. You can't be. You can't. It's an official match.
He wasn't undefeated in college. He wasn't undefeated in college. He was undefeated for his varsity career, whatever you want to call it.
No, you wouldn't be though. If you wrestle as a true freshman in a dual meet and you get beat, you have a loss on your record. Period. End of story.
No.
Wasn't trying can't count it clause.
Yeah.
Christian, how could you not? It's an official match in a dual meet. It's an official match. It's there forever. You go back to a box score in 100 years to Iowa, Illinois in January of 2023. You lost. Lost.
That's the thing. Whether right or wrong, it will be viewed that way because there will be
the key here is
on
you
your
are
record.
Attached. You're attached. If you're attached, it counts.
Yeah. Disagree.
Because like Shane is saying, in 50, 100 years, nobody hardly will say, yes, but that was their true freshman year. They will see the 1. They will see the 159 in 1.
The 4 years
compared to the 159 in 0.
You're not even giving him his wins his redshirt year. You're just saying 159 and 1. That's not right either.
He wasn't attached. because he wasn't attached in those matches. That's the key here. It's, are you attached? If you're attached.
See, that is such a semantic. That is so pointless. That
I
changes.
understand.
Attached, not attached. But there's no
is.
difference. They're college matches. It's all the same to me.
Okay, so Christian, I'm reasonable. I'll make a deal. I'll you know what? I'll agree with you. So with that being said, Kale's got a loss. I'm okay playing it the way you want to play it. I'm fine. I'm fine with that.
He went undefeated in his 4 years. The 4 years he was supposed to not lose, he didn't lose. That's what I think.
Yeah, I mean, I so you know what the cool thing is for wrestling fans? If you are a 12-year-old kid right now or 15-year-old kid, whatever, you can still, because it's always like, you know, Kale, obviously 159, you know, whatever. But there's still, I mean, we're talking a sliver of meat on the bone to one-up Kale. So it's never been done. I mean, it's never been done where somebody's been undefeated in their college career, right? It's never happened.
Yeah, I guess not.
It probably has.
It probably has.
Wasn't
Not in
there somebody
Division
from
I.
Oklahoma State?
Uteki?
Yeah.
What was his record?
But he only wrestled 3 seasons.
I should say that. Yeah, okay. Undefeated in a Division I college career with 4 national titles.
Yeah.
Never. I don't believe that's ever been done. So if you're some 13-year-old out there, whatever you are, you can still, there's still, Kale can be dethroned.
Yeah, you could do it as a true freshman.
Yeah. I mean,
Yep.
Yeah, the interesting conversation is if
And you know what,
doesn't
guys?
take that loss
In
to
my
Jaden.
lifetime, do you think we'll see it in our lifetime?
No.
True fresh? No. I'll never say never on this one.
Well, I'm not going to say never, but if I have
I
to
wouldn't
put my
bet on
money
it.
somewhere,
Obviously, odds would be. I mean, it would be
yeah, I
next to
don't
impossible.
I
But
bet it happens at
no.
some point.
It's crazy
eventually
how
it'll happen.
good these people are.
But you know what?
That's
All right, here's
what-
what's not going to happen. Here's what I will definitively say. No one is ever going to hit 159 matches.
Yeah, you're probably right on that.
It's like they don't wrestle that.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, 120, I'd be like, wow.
Yeah,
That would surprise
100's
me.
Tough to 100. 100's kind of that. You get to 100 wins in a career right now. You know, if you have 4 years of eligibility, when everything's normal, that's a lot. A lot of guys don't get 25 matches a year.
Well, anymore, that's the case.
Yeah.
I think even 10 years ago was way more common. Now it's like,
Yeah, Kale averaging 40 wins a year, basically. That's incredible.
yep. So we'll never see that, in my opinion, because no one's wrestling that much.
Nothing beats a good wrestling debate, man.
You're right.
Good stuff.
You're right. Okay. Let's get out of here. Been a fun one. Always great having Shane on the show. We will be back tomorrow. Ben will be back. You will not be here.
I'm out.
He's going.
What are you doing, JD? Out vacation?
I got a wedding. I'm headed to Omaha, Nebraska.
Nice. Well, you guys have a great 4th. Everybody have a great 4th.
Heck yeah.
To you as
Happy
well.
4th of July. Go eat 75 hot dogs. You could be the greatest. You could beat Joey Chestnut. That's all you have to do. 75 hot dogs in like 12 minutes. No problem. Go eat some goldfish, some mayonnaise, whatever it is you do over the weekend. You know what? It's America. You can eat mayonnaise by the spoonful. One of the great pleasures for JD. Thanks so much for listening. We will see you tomorrow morning, bright and early with Ben. He'll be back. See you guys. Thanks.